performance dimensions. Yeah, these are our key bit of theory for the beginning and the if you like, as I said, the performance of an operation. So doing things right, doing things fast, on time, the ability to change, yeah, and doing things cheaply. Okay, and we call those quality, speed, dependability, flexibility, and cost. And all those things mixed together in various forms for different businesses deliver competitiveness, i.e., that is the competitive if people will buy from you. Yeah, whether and it's all about how to get people to buy something from you. Can you deliver that, and what is it that you're doing? So we can use this a polar dimension type model to try and say, well, what's the differences? How much are we competing on flexibility? How much are we competing on cost, for example? So look at a bus service where you get on a bus, yeah, you've got to rely on it being dependable. So you want to walk to the bus stop. You don't want it to be early. You don't want it to be late. You want it to be just to be there when it says you're going to be there. You don't expect it to be too flexible. Yeah, you know that bus routes have got to follow a particular pattern. You've got to suit the one that gets you where you want to go. Quality, it's not going to be the best ride you've ever had. You might hope for a seat, but it's got to be reasonably clean, tidy, that sort of thing. You don't expect to be very quick. You acknowledge that the bus is it's a slow vehicle. It's got to stop lots of times. It's got to go on busy routes. Yeah, but it's pretty cheap. Yeah, part of the reason for going on a bus is that you're trading off. You're saying, okay, I'm having less flexibility and speed and quality, but it's cheaper. Okay, compare that to a taxi service, which is the same kind of input to output transformation. You're getting from A to B. Taxi is slightly less dependable. Yeah, at certain times of the day and the evening. Okay, much more flexible. You can go wherever you want from wherever you want. Quality, you pretty much expect a seat in a taxi. It's going to get there a bit quicker, but you got to pay for it. Okay, so it's a different way of competing. Yeah, but you've noticed that we have, during that conversation, we have contextualized what those dimensions mean, which is the fundamental thing that you have to do before you can even think about scoring. Yeah, and thinking about how can we compete. What does it mean for our particular business? So here's an example for McDonald's. Yeah, so dependability in McDonald's is making sure the food tastes the same whether it's in Shanghai or Leeds. Yeah, the same menu pretty much. Yeah, the majority of the same menu, and the opening times. You know you're going to turn up at a certain time when it's open, and quite a lot of McDonald's now are opening 24/7. Quality, yeah. Well, it might not be your view of a great meal, but you still got to taste and well enough for people to buy it. Texture, but also how nice the people are that serve you, and how accurate. Accuracy is a big problem. You always see people taking their meals back sometimes, and it's one of the main complaints, if you like, in a McDonald's restaurant. I call it a restaurant. Flexibility, yep. So you can have something off the menu, but you can have it without cheese or gherkins or whatever. Yeah, there are variants, so there's a degree of flexibility there, and also you can eat in, take out, drive through. Sorry. Speed. Now, speed is interesting. Again, it's about what it means for the particular business. So speed is how long you wait in the queue. And there's a whole lot of queuing theory that talks about how important that is, and the ratios involved in whether it feels a long queue or a short queue. There's the speed of how long it takes to order when you actually at the counter, and how long the food gets to you. So there's different elements of speed involved, and you're sort of talking to which is matters the most to the customer, and you've got to be able to manage all three of those. And cost, yeah, where's the majority of the cost ratio lie in McDonald's? Yeah, is it the building? Is it the people? Is it the materials? Yeah, it's probably quite an even mixture of all those three things. So we can then score it. We also have a maximum score of 18, and that is because it's very, very, very difficult to compete on all five things. Yeah, and often we get one or two people every year that kind of draw diagrams in the final assessment in part 2 with like 5s and everything, and Yeah, well, it's kind of lazy because it shows you not really put some effort into thinking about how actually are they competing. There's almost no business that's competing on all 5 fronts. Yeah, it's virtually impossible. There are ways there where you can achieve flexibility and dependability, for example, without sacrificing cost, but they are fewer. The more dimensions you involve, the more difficult the trade-off becomes. So let's try and identify how you're competing, and then where the gaps are compared to your competitors, where the gaps are for where the market's going to be in 12 months, 2 years, 5 years time, and how can you improve your operation to get to that point.